Okay, the video cut off and I had to get the video off the phone to start recording again. I'm grateful that it didn't cut off and went all the way to an hour and 44 minutes. Okay, Three of Wands, Magician, Star. What I was saying earlier is about, this seems like you're in the public eye, and what you're seeing is meant to influence what's to come, but not in the way you think. I'm noticing the rooster in this card, right here. You already know you're here to awaken people, but it's not an awakening like you see in social media about all that stuff. It's almost like you're waking up the foundations of what they're built with. You're altering the trend. You're transmuting the vibrations of the structures of the earth by altering them within your physical body. You're performing alchemy within yourself. Queen of Pentacles, the High Priestess, again with the Tower, and the Nine of Cups. This is focusing. Okay. Bottom of the deck was just the Wheel. Okay. The Knight of Swords. The Princess of Swords. What does this speak to you? If we do the basic descriptions of these cards in the most normal, mundane human way, I'm just feeling so much peace right now. It's almost as if your energy is stabilized within yourself. You have your boundaries. You're playing the song, the drum of your own, melody. You're manifesting. You're creating. You're doing everything that you should be doing as a great human being, except being fulfilled with your physical life. Magician pointing to something else. The Star, wishes granted and things done, purity and peace, but being poured out. The Three of Wands, waiting for something to feel fulfilled, to have your stability and your perceived stability and sanctuary. The mother figure within you, the intuition, the deep knowing, the grandmother aspect of you that has been damaged in some way. The Tower is also known as Magda, and which goes to Magdalene, which is also the amygdala in your brain. Somewhere right around where your spinal cord connects to your brain, around the pineal gland. More of your chakra systems, your energy systems are active, but they're in queue. QUE from this is showing only. It's like you've queued them up to activate, but the high tower is being blocked from you by the Prince of Swords. I'm not really certain what that means. Hold on. There's something here under the surface again. A Karma Chameleon. The song by Boy George just popped into my head. Karma Chameleon, your colors are red, green, and gold. Red, green, and gold. What is this? What is the message you're attempting to give to this person with these cards? Temperance and the Page of Cups again. Be patient. Be patient. Be patient. The story is unfolding by the light of the moon, the light of the earth, the stars, the sun, the temperance, the balance of all. Simply let it be and watch it unfold. I'm hearing in my mind, sometimes as gods, the best thing we can do in the world of men is to not pull the strings of fate. Because it only brings pain. And we've become numb to the pain of what people feel. When a certain, whoa, these two just fell right at my feet. 3 of Pentacles and 10 of Pentacles. And the Devil landed right under the 3 of Swords. And look how the Devil has the hearts entangled in a web. And a feminine figure stuck within the earth, wearing masks and density and trapping her while the Devil dances upon her. Notice the heart that's been bleeding right there, the bloodline of the heart. The heart, again with the ruby symbolism. And then the moon right here. And the cup with the red liquid she's drinking. It's almost as if by day or by night, the threads that connect the soulmates together cannot be broken. Notice how this one has it on the left hand. This one has it on the right hand. In between the two is the 3 of Swords and the Devil. Above the two is the Temperance and the Page of Cups. And the 2 that fell down, 10 of Pentacles, 3 of Pentacles. Again with the serpent and the dragon. Another serpent right here. And the man holding the woman pointing the way to the stars. Someone in your environment could be pregnant, or you could be coming up with a really creative idea that seems to be as rich and ripe as peaches and nectarines, like Georgia peaches. You could be in Georgia or traveling to Georgia. The World card is there. The moon, temperance, stars, the tower. Wish fulfillment with the 9 of Cups. The Knight of Swords bringing in words from the mind in a less than chivalrous way. But knowing that what's being revealed is what you needed to be revealed, so that you could have a better comprehension of the pain that you already knew existed, that was there by a shadow aspect of you that was keeping you stuck in a situation of constantly working to better yourself when there was nothing wrong with you in the first place. The 10 of Pentacles usually has the Kabbalah tree of life imagery on it. Clarify 10 of Pentacles and 3 of Pentacles, please. Good idea. Let me use a different deck. Okay. 10 of Pentacles, 3 of Pentacles, working together on a legacy, a lineage, ancestry. What's happening here? Okay, that flipped over, but it was upright. So now we have the world upright and the world upside down. A cycle being looped upon itself to clarify 10 of Pentacles, 3 of Pentacles. Perpetually working on yourself and your ancestry and the structure of the prism that makes the light of you emit within your body. Being looped in a cycle of self-improvement. There's nothing wrong with you. You're not broken. You don't need to be healed. If you're having dental issues, you might want to bring some natural remedies into your dental routine. I'm hearing lots of vitamin D and sunlight. Lots and lots of it. Lay on the earth so that you can see the sky. And again, with the Ace of Wands, the sexual energy, the energy to move forward, to pick a direction. And look, 2 of Wands, 2 swords, bottom of the deck. Below that, the Ace of Wands. Below that, the 10 of Swords and the King of Cups. Someone waiting for you to put something to rest so they can bring something to you. And whichever path you choose, you still get to the same destination. One path just frees you by acknowledging your inner child and your creativity. The other path takes you towards attempting to heal a wound that's already healed. But in the process of wanting to heal it, you keep reopening the wound. You know, I'm really feeling the sense of being bored with what you're doing. Like, I'm looking at these cards trying to see the messages and to feel them through me. And what I'm feeling is to just let this happen. Clarify the Tower, please. 3 of Wands, Ace of Cups. You have such a gentle heart. You're waiting for something to happen before you change your world. A lonely queen or king upon her throne, waiting for someone to give their empire to. Love being offered to you, love stuff brewing within you, and all the wisdom you gain, but it's not going anywhere. There's no land in sight. And Spirit coming to tell you you've put your cup in a place where no one can reach it. And you stare off into the distance wanting to see what's there and to be with the flock, the tribe. But you're way off over there in the distance. You've kept yourself away from the people you want to be with. You can't get this 4th wand to build your 4 of Wands until you become more human and interact with humans. the inner child within you. The creativity, the passion, the sentimentality, the sexuality of you, the joy, the desire of wanting to play. Playing board games, drawing, playing with like a squirrel outside, just enjoying your body in a hot tub. I'm seeing so much with this. A little too much, if I'm going to be honest. And really, what's being really prominent in this is this guy looking at this wand, but it's almost like it's this guy that's been looking at this wand for so long, like staring into this, oracular pool of water, this Ace of Cups that you could be giving to people, and you're like, nobody wants my cup. They just can't get to you, and you've been alone for so long. You've collected all this power, all this knowledge and wisdom and energy and abilities, and I just saw an entire spider web go across this. You've entangled yourself in your own web of wanting to make sense of the web. And you lost the simple beauty, like the simplicity of being. Of just being. Of just being. Knowing and being. Knowing and being. And here's the King of Pentacles. Queen of Pentacles, King of Pentacles, your divine match. Problem is, they're in two separate books. Okay. What is keeping these two apart? What energy is it? What thread is it? What theme, or what is it? I'm shuffling this, and all I see is this. The pain of a world that requires you to be in pain. You're addicted to it. 11, you're addicted to spiritual evolution. As if you were anything but yourself. You never really had to suffer the way you needed, the way you thought you did, to find peace and spirituality that you have, that you thought you didn't have. This person doesn't look like they're happy for the path they chose to get to where they want to be. They feel chained. They feel untouchable, unlovable, and ugly. You've become blind to the pain. Look again, the web, the lies, the flies. Look at the two phases of the moon. Always in a perpetual cycle. From beginning to end, Alpha and Omega, constantly addicted to the same story, the same pain, the same archetype, the same structure. You're naked before the stars. What use do you have to shroud yourself in suffering? Your body is a temple. You're not fated to suffer, but you will continue to do so if you don't realize that the gifts you're being offered, you don't need them. You are the gift that they are poisoning with false gifts, when you yourself were the pure gift. Before you were addicted and blinded to the pain, where you saw the world as if you had to heal it. And the pain was so much that you felt like you were just chained to your emotions, and that you had to sacrifice yourself and your human life to dissipate into the smoke of the ethers. And to look at how that looks like a ballerina tutu, but it's a man wearing a leather suit. It's like you've been in all these different roles, and you've hurt in so many different ways. How strange with these two dots. I've been noticing two dots around a lot. I even have a birthmark on my chest that I can't show you because it's right up on my left chest area. And I have two little dots like that, right over my heart. Yeah, this is something I've felt before. Being so in that martyr complex where you want to suffer for the sake of suffering because you think if you suffer enough, then the world doesn't have to suffer what you suffer through. That is what you've been blinded to. The world doesn't need you to suffer. Queen of my world. Is this you? Is this me? Is this really who you are, without the blinders and the pain? Queen of your world. A warrior. Someone who dreams and uplifts others with visions and messages and compassion, kindness. Even at the expense of your own wings, you will go to the depths to bring back those that you love. So, why do it as if you're sacrificing yourself to do that? And I was asking to clarify the tower, I think, and the king and queen. And it keeps looping back to the same thing. You keep going through this part of pain that you're running from, that you're trying to find a solution to, but the problem is there's no solution to the pain. The solution is letting the pain be. It's like attempting to dissect the color green and break it apart into 1,000 different colors. You're still going to get the color green out of it. So what can you do throughout your day-to-day life to not only accelerate the healing that you are calling for, but that's already there within you, because it's there. You just don't see it because the moon within you, the emotions within you, are illuminating something that keeps distracting you from what you should be focused on, which is that life is actually really good and bright and happy. And you're here to take the mask off and be unabashedly who you are to the whole world. But you get to choose. Do you want to do it as the devil? Do you want to do it as the moon? As a being of balance of light and dark? As someone very young and happy and, joyful and passionate, romantic? And do you want to bring the mother vibe into it? Do you want to bring the ancestry into it, or build an empire or a business or a career? Or do you want to spend your time trying to figure out why you're hurt? I want to get more on this king and queen duo, because it leads right back to the issue of your tribe. How can we bring this about for you? What do you need to stop blocking to bring this into your life? This divine union of self and with other. Trust, faith, joy, adventure, wanderlust, wandering, traveling, taking joys in the simple things of life, getting off your throne and moving the chariot from your throne, putting on your hobbit outfit and going for a ride. You've already done everything you're supposed to do. The rest of this is just to enjoy yourself. And in the process of enjoying yourself, you will fulfill your role, your destiny, in a much more graceful way. You don't need to be the Christed Savior of the world. You already are. You don't need to be the, serpent that brings the fire to Adam and Eve. You already are. So what does that person do, that being, in the human world as a human being? Do you have an animal sanctuary? Do you have a permaculture food forest garden? Do you have a business where you teach children how to meditate? Do you have a practice where you do energy work on people? Do you have your own TV broadcasting station where you show nothing but good information and you block out the ones that create negativity in people? Where you bring about the dreams and balance of life to people in a very humble and grateful way, to teach them how to be humble and grateful. So the things that have been separating the king and the queen and you and your tribe are that you haven't been you yet. You've been playing a role. And that role doesn't need you to play it. It's already been done. Even Christ, Jesus, when he was on the cross, the last words he said was tetelestai. It is already done. It's paid. Your debt is paid. You are allowed to have fun now. You're allowed to be happy. You're allowed to look at your world from season to season, from gender to gender, life to life, from being husband and wife to being grandmother and grandfather to being, maiden and son again. Like, throughout all of time, the entire wheel, you're the thing that's been blocking it. And it's because you felt the need to do something other than just give of yourself in a nourishing way to yourself and others. Notice the branch, how it's barren. It's cold, but there's these berries growing on it, like juniper. You might want to look into what juniper berries offer in terms of healing properties or the mystical properties of them, and incorporate them in your life, in a different way. Maybe get some juniper berries and put them in your pocket, or get some juniper essential oil. 7 of Cups. Yeah, I know. It's a lot of information. It's a lot of confusion. It's a lot of staring at the 6 of Cups that you could have had and the things that could have been, and the nostalgia and etc. But I just heard that which was taken will be returned to you. The Ace of Swords. You have the clarity now. Despite the confusion and everything the world has to offer you, you have the clarity of what you want. You can't battle the lack of material companionship, lack of material companionship and movement forward in life due to the lack of the body being treated as a temple. Instead, it's being treated like it's just something to wither away and die. And you've been doing a lot of inner work. You should take a break. You already know your answers. You can't go around them. Like if those spirits at the bottom are the spirits of your answers, like your path, your common sense, your knowing, and you're dancing around it by thinking that you're blocking off the shadow or the evil or death, but they're your allies. You've been fighting your own allies. You've been blocking away pathways within your structure that would illuminate you in a way that gives your energetic signature a fingerprint. You've been hiding yourself. You've been avoiding looking at reality for what it is. None of these cards are looking straight forward except the Chariot, and the Chariot's looking upwards and forwards. You're not present in the now because you think being present in the now means you need to be doing something to save the now or to help the now. And that vibration, that state of mind keeps the lovers apart by the things you think about, the things you do, the traditions of the human world, the religious beliefs, the dogma, the love you felt before, the words you said before, the things you haven't done, the battles you've won. You've allowed it to influence who you are now far too much, and other people can't really keep up. So if you slow down and enjoy the beauty of the physical body and just be a little more dense like a human, you'll realize all the mistakes you've been making. And those mistakes will turn into power for you and wisdom. And you'll finally be able to let the past go and to see that the thing you were holding from within yourself was your connection to your true self, your true partner. Within you, the same deck, the same books, the same art, the same song. I know you have the Five of Cups vibe around you. I don't know how much you know about tarot, but I'm fairly certain you know about tarot. If these were all snapshots of moments in your life, still images, little Polaroids of what you've been through, wouldn't it be time that you allowed the pentacles you keep giving away to come back to you, regardless of what they look like when they come back? Whether they look like they're fighting you, or they're yelling at you, or they are judging you, criticizing you, coming to get you, just leave it be. Look at it for what it is. The truth revealing itself to you. You've given, you've sacrificed, you've lost, you've been taken from, you've been blocked out, you've been alone in solitude and silence, you felt defensive, there's been too much confusion and illusion, and all you want is to have a partner or partners or a tribe. But it's like everyone's getting ready for the world, right? This big huge event, some grand wedding of two things coming together, and you're hiding in the water and you're like, you guys, I'm right here. And everyone's like, we don't know where you are. What do you mean you were right here? We're looking into the universe and we can't see where your cup is. And you're like, it's right here. I'm right here. And you're not holding a cup, you're holding thoughts. Because in order for them to find you, the cup must become tangible. It must become physical. The way you love yourself must be incorporated in how you treat yourself. How are you ever going to treat the love of your life like the royalty and the divinity that they are in their human form, when you yourself are having issues incorporating your human self with your divine self at a very fundamental level of feeling unworthy of the body you're in. And I know that feeling all too well, and if I knew how to get through it, I would tell you. But the only path I found in making peace with the human body is realizing that it's imperfectly perfect. You can't make it better. It only gets better when you and your emotions and energy get better. The body is a canvas that is painted upon by what we feel, think, and do. And if all those things are from a place of pain, then the face would look like it's from a place of pain. And I know that all too well as well. The devil. Addicted to pain, addicted to suffering, addicted to knowing that you're alone and being, okay with it. Being chained and waiting for that other red strand to connect with you. Waiting for that knight in shining armor riding in and bringing the light, saving that little hummingbird. But what if that figure and all the weaknesses and addictions you might have are the inverse of all your gifts? And once you learn to master your heart, like the devil is doing, you can teach others. But first, you got to free yourself of yourself and what you think you need to be. And you hold the key right there. Remember in this other deck, it was talking about the key? And this deck of cards has a key on the background. So let's pull another one of these due to the key synchronicity. Hex. Again. Maximus. How can you feed others when your own table is empty? Euphoria. Honor yourself. Mosaic. Let chance play its creative role in your life. What is it you're afraid of? What were you saying in your email? That you want the miracles to stop because it's too synchronistic, it's too in flow. Has the enemy revealed itself to you yet? It's you. You're limiting your own growth because you think that you need to do something in some way. Let it flow. Let it flow. Let it flow. Euphoria is a 9. Mosaic is a 9. You've already learned these lessons. It's like you're repeating the same class in summer school. You've mastered the art of being your own devil so much that you forgot you're playing that role. Make your dreams real. Allow all this synchronicity to flow in your life and just let it glorify you. 10 of Cups, 2 of Swords. Well, what do we have here? Look, the sword I was talking in the 5 of Swords card, which is oddly enough at the bottom of the deck, is in this person's hand, the shrouded figure that was shrouded, that this figure deciding which way to go. But look, the heart has been freed and allowed to hang with that hummingbird that was being protected. And look at the phase of this moon here. It's not going left to right anymore. It's going up or down, or, in this weird kind of elliptical. I don't know. It just looks strange. And the 10 of Cups here, which also points to addictions. The addicted feeling of needing to be with someone to fulfill your purpose. And all these little fish are just flying by on their own. They don't need anybody. The presence of others is a gift, is a blessing, but you can't appreciate it when you're trying to control how others perceive you. when you decide that what's more important to you is the truth and also authenticity of who you are, and that you allow yourself to be full of glory, for your table to be full, for your life to be ruled by fate, by destiny, by miracles. When you honor yourself enough to allow your life to be a living miracle, the enemy reveals itself, and you realize you've been the enemy all along, keeping you from your heart being fulfilled and free. You've been keeping yourself in that state so you can appreciate what it's like to see what you want farther away from you, so that you can choose how to get to this, through which path you get to it. And regardless of how you get there, you're going to get there. But it would be much better if you went there with a path of beauty and love and complete prosperity and abundance. Bloom where you're planted. There's nothing wrong with you. I'm not asking for anything. I'm just letting your guides and team let me know what needs to be. 4 of Cups again. Wow. And what I'm hearing with this is, yeah, I know, but is it really that simple? I mean, do I really need to play with these gestures and these dancing cups and these fools in this world? Well, yeah, because once you get over the high and mighty divine is I, and I'm here to change your world, you realize you actually want to be with him. You want to have this dopey experience as a human being that's so much more profound than any word can describe. Again, 7 of Wands. And the King of Wands. Ooh. Someone's on fire. You know the fire in you? What would that fire be like if you used it for art or sex instead of walking away from it? Nine of Wands, being defensive again. The wounded warrior. You need a break. You need a vacation from yourself, from your mind, from how much you overthink and how much you keep leaving things behind, and you move forward and then you look back, and then you move forward and you look back and you question yourself and you don't know what you're doing and you don't know how to do it. You go through time and you go through space and you go through versions of yourself and different timelines and realities and planets, and you even put your consciousness in that, like animals and objects, just to not be in your body. And when you're in your body, you're so enthralled with the sensations of what you can do that you envious glutton and atonement. It's like you gluttonously feed on the spiritual energy that is you, and then you punish yourself for it. The 4 of Swords, atonement. And then you walk away from it, and you get gluttonous on the walking away from things, and then you realize that's what you do, and you stop and you turn around, and then that confuses you, and then you stop and you're like, what am I doing with my life? And then you bring on the persona of someone that's just a go-getter, and you're like, I'm done, I'm just going to be this, bullish version of myself. Which again is another form of atonement and punishment. So what does he or she do Because there's so much you're pointing at breaking free of the self while being with the self. Black flower fragrance and the masquerade. I don't know what black flower fragrance means to you, but when the nape of the neck right here is being really prominent to me. The scent in the wind, the richness of the scent of the skin that's been warmed by touch, where even the darkness blooming within the heart, if allowed to bloom with love, can be beautiful. But it must be illuminated with the fullness of the heart, which means you can't do evil things in your life and expect for your life to be better, even if it's towards yourself. Which means your definition of evil needs to change. Because it can't be just what you think it is or what's shown to you outside, or what your perceptions of it are from a higher point of view or a different reality. The masquerade is one you've been doing with yourself, and you've been creating these illusions of grandeur towards the pain. It's like you've been punishing yourself to be like someone. The 9 and the 6, gluttonous, envious glutton, and masquerade. It's like they're inverted, of the inversion of each other. It goes back to that addicted to pain card. You seem to be like a child that's been disciplined too many times and it's afraid to make a decision for itself, so it questions every decision it wants to make. A colorless angel. Like it doesn't even have the will to be illuminated anymore. It's just letting itself fade because everything's just too much. You're peaceful among thorns when you shouldn't be among thorns. You're the bloom upon the thorn, not the thorn. Yes, you have thorns, but so does a rose, as cliche as that sounds. Again, triumph of lies, fated to suffer, bride in a cage. You know, if we're just going to be really, really dark about this, if you keep on the path of wanting to be a archetype of some kind that's already been done, you will be in the grasp of lies that hold your failure as their triumph. That the lies triumphed over who you could have been. Because they made you believe that you were fated to suffer and you had to atone for all the sins and the crimes that you've committed in all of your lives, and that the human of you was just nothing. And the bride that you're waiting for, or the bride that you are, kept away behind these like laser grids, this like soul cage of something that you think you can never have. Look in the background, there's Goofy. You feel like you're goofy. Like a joke, like your life's a joke. Everything you do is just fated to suffer and fail, and nothing's worth it, and any wisdom you gain or knowledge you gain is just keeps you trapped more, because you're working with an artificial heart. You're processing things in the way you think humans should be processing them, or that they have been, but it's because you've been fragmented. You've probably experienced some form of ritual abuse and programming from very early in your childhood years, to where people altered the way your brain works, so that aspects of yourself would be fragmented between who you are and who you know yourself to be and what they want you to be. So they diverted the way you see yourself with artificial programs, affirmations, scripts, subliminal messages that keep you fragmented and separated from your lower human urges. Like you've elevated yourself above the human world, but you've done it in an artificial way. that's caused you to be less than yourself. You sacrifice the human to become a god, but the god can't be a god without the human. It's become an obsession. And that obsession, the crown of thorns you want to wear and the light you hold, will blind you if you don't realize that all the colors in the universe that make up anything are within you. And the obsession to figure out which color spectrum makes more you or which one needs to be lit up or whatever is what's causing the energetic flow, the energy through the grid, to not go to the body. Instead, it goes into the ethers, into the thorns, instead of the temple of the body. So for rapid healing in your system to allow that miracle to occur, I mean, really, just allow it to occur, accept it, claim it, receive it. Again? I wouldn't believe this if I wasn't the one doing this. Again, fated to suffer. Why won't you let this go? Envious glutton, again. Like you're gorging yourself off of your own suffering. As if there isn't enough beauty and joy in the world, and in the sweetness and kindness of who you are, that you feel like you need to constantly take the poison. Like you're suffering for the sins of the world. Those sins have already been paid for, my dear. Child, you were meant to be, gilded regret, calling the storm, naked before the stars. All the phases of the moon. You ready to call the storm yet? To unveil yourself and the beauty of you before the stars? To break that pink grid that was keeping you stuck and use it to, like sacred geometry, to shape yourself. Do you think this powerful being feels any shame for her dark or her light? For her ability to destroy or create? For her ability to have an orgasm or to, go poo? Do you think she has any issue vomiting what doesn't belong to her or healing her bones? She knows the power. I'm hearing drums. The power is within the beating of the drum of your heart, dancing in rhythm with the moon and the earth and the waters of life. That gilded regret that you've worn as a crown of thorns to atone for what was done to you and what was done by you has already been paid. You're not fated to suffer. You're not broken. You're not sick. What's happening to you is the energetic compression of what you refuse to allow to explode. Is this me? Yeah, it's you. I'm reading your energy, not mine. I can feel my energy in the back of my being, and it's like a reflective mirror, like a ball of mercurial silver or silverine light. It's very strange, but I'm seeing it from a third person point of view because I can see your energy in front of me, mine on the other side, and I'm seeing it from the point of view of like a third person. Again with that grid on you, the lines. Okay, there might really be something about where you're living, where the energy of the place you're living is actually really not helpful to you. It could be electrical, environmental things. It could also be what you're consuming physically. This child, the child you were meant to be, eats things from the earth. This person, blinded to the pain, will eat anything because she doesn't know what she's eating. She can't see it. She's blinded to it. And this person knows what they're doing. They know what the water they're swimming in looks like, but they don't care. That water could be a complete, the pool they're swimming in could be something detrimental to them. But because of the regret they feel, they are willing to make themselves suffer. My stomach is grumbling, and I keep getting the imagery of fruits and watermelons and, light condensed in physical manifestation. Like little pearls, little grapes, maybe caviar, or like boba tea, the stuff that has the little pearls in it. I just saw a chicken fly into the air and turn into a winged serpentine dragon, illuminated by the sun. Maybe I have a chicken sandwich. Atonement again! Yo! Human to human. Stop making yourself suffer. No matter how much you stick these swords in your own soul, you will never, ever, ever be able to suffer enough to call or cull the storm of the world. Ever, ever, ever. Believing that you need to atone for anything is what keeps you fated to suffer. It's blinded you to the pain of atonement. Atonement is like a lie told to life that feeds off of regret, which brings them to be fated to suffer. No matter which religion you believe in, there is some thread in the same story that says someone already came and suffered for you. You don't have to. You're free. You're free of sin. You're free of crime. You're free of karma, unless what you do is intentionally to hurt other people. Otherwise, the energy that comes back to you could be a poison apple or an organic one. It's your energy that it goes into, and then it becomes that poison or that medicine. That apple is just an apple. It's you that chooses what happens to it within you. How different and magical your life would be if, instead of atoning and suffering to make peace and atone for things that were done, you actually spread joy and laughter and levity and ethereal magic and brought a new vision to the world of how life could really be. Are you kidding me? I'm just going to leave these 3 cards out because I have never in any card reading seen so many duplicates. This is a pretty big deck. Like, it's not just a, couple of cards. And we haven't seen a very big variation of these, have we? Because you're blinded to the pain due to the regret that you feel that you've worn as a crown. And now you suffer for it, like a glutton for punishment. Queen gone mad. A king gone mad. Sacrificing today for tomorrow. Wow. The child you were meant to be is hiding your true self. The gilded regret. Look at this. I'm going to read these to you exactly what they're saying. Envious gluttony has blinded to the pain of gilded regret that keeps the child you were meant to be. Or let's just read exactly what they're saying. Envious glutton, blinded to pain, gilded regret, the child I was meant to be, hiding your true self. 5, 5, 8, 4, 9. This brings up imagery of Mary Magdalene to me, which was known to be Jesus' wife. And if you're from that bloodline and you've carried that guilt and regret from all that time, let it go. Let it go. You are who you are, and you don't need to suffer to prove who you are. You prove who you are by allowing the child who you were meant to be to show you your true self. You don't sacrifice today for tomorrow. You live today with tomorrow as yourself. I'm not even gonna. Just look. Again. Bride in a cage. The temple of your body. Triumph of lies. Do you see what the triumph of lies has done to your body? The belief in gilded regret that blinded you to the pain of feeling that regret. That lie that you were supposed to suffer has damaged the temple of your body, preventing the child you were meant to be to become the true self that's hidden in what could have been. The bride in the cage, maid and mother crone, lost in the darkness because the lies have kept it apart from the things it would have seen and experienced because of a need to suffer. I won't cry for you. Well, I would hope you wouldn't. But if you do, realize that your tears are more precious than anything you could ever imagine. So if you cry them, if you allow your wounds to heal, do it in a dignified way for your inner child. Do not feed the parasite of regret. Okay, I'm so tired of seeing these same cards. Envious glutton again. Artificial heart. Astonishing. Absolutely, absolutely, absolutely astonishing. It's the same message over and over. Wow! Wow. Okay, let's try this one. Okay, now what? Spirit, source, prime creator, and all the gods that are assisting this individual, all the energies and all the beings. Now what for this person? We've uncovered the enemy, we've uncovered the issues, we have seen the problem. Now you set personal boundaries within yourself to not allow yourself to feel that negativity within the temple of your body. When you feel that negativity, you transmute it with the knowing and dignity of who you truly are. While living in a human body, free that bride in you. I don't know if you're more masculine or feminine or male or female, whatever that means in your world. But there is an obvious feminine energy within you that is craving to come out. And it could be I don't think anything else needs to be said. 1, you need to get laid. 2, you're being too hard on yourself. 3, you're not alone. People just can't get close to you because the way you've been has been standoffish and intimidating. Because you're too into the ethereal, while when you come into the physical, you seem a little scary, otherworldly, not really human. And you think that has you need to shy away from life, but you don't. You need to be more of that. Because the world is craving, longing, begging for divinity in human form. And here you are hiding yourself. I'm just shaking my head right now. I don't even know. This has been the most intense reading I've ever done in my life, and that's an understatement. I really feel like I've been reading for a being of. It's not even something that I can put into the dimensions that we already know. I feel like you're from the pleroma, and you're just learning how to be human. That's why this message that's been coming through has been so repetitive. At least to me, it seems like it's repetitive. I don't even know exactly what you've been hearing. I've been like in and out of channeling this entire time. And the way I feel inside of me with all of these energies going through me to be translated and to be put into categories for you. Please comprehend with every aspect of your being that the path you are to walk on this world isn't complicated. It's so simple. It's so basic. Fill your own table before you try to feed others. Your table, your body, your temple. How can you feed others when your own table is empty? How can you teach others about self-love and compassion when you're being so hard on yourself? Do you want to teach them that through suffering comes wisdom? Because the light that you emit shouldn't burn. It shouldn't hurt people to look at it, to be with it, to touch it. So the pain you're feeling that you've covered yourself in is like thorns among other people, and you're peaceful among these thorns, and people can't comprehend how you can be peaceful while you're in so much pain. Why would you do that to yourself? So they avoid you and they leave you be in solitude, and you continue to do it to yourself even more, thinking that wisdom will come from it, that you will change in some way eventually. But you're just being grown over. Your table is being grown over. Life is being grown over. The world is changing, and you're still trying to figure out how to fix yourself. Wow. It feels very similar to me, like being in front of the camera. It feels like it's a heavy burden. Like the moment people see my face, or they'll judge, or they'll do this or that, or there'll be something wrong with me, and I'll have to perfect everything before I'm ever in front of the camera just to be me. Don't be like that. I feel that energy. I feel like it's like a note that we're both playing on a string instrument. So I'm telling you as much as I'm telling myself. You're beautiful, you're kind, you're honest, you're gentle, and you're powerful in all ways of power. Allow yourself to enjoy your life. I mean, really, there are days here when I'm spending time with Lily, and like a week goes by because time really means nothing, where it's just me and Lily in this apartment, and I'm in the ethers, back and forth. The Mother of Believers and the Princess of Mercy. Giving is receiving. The energy of the universe is merciful. Especially to you. You are the universe. I am spiritually and financially abundant. I provide heaven and earth for myself. For your temple. Set boundaries within the mentality within you that says you need to be poor, or suffering, or broken, or sick, or ugly, or alone. Those are choices you're making on a level that you're not aware of, because the one aspect of you that's making those choices is addicted to you suffering. And all it wants to do is free you from that suffering. So it's constantly giving you all this suffering for you to be like, okay, I'm fucking done suffering. What do I do now? What do you do now? You're done suffering. What's the next step you should take in your life to prove to yourself that you are done suffering? The Lady of Hermits tries to transform pain and suffering into a greater capacity to love. Lakshmi, the goddess of abundance. I choose to feel abundant. Wealth is an inside job. Need I repeat myself again? Allow the miracles to flow in your life. It's like I'm literally I'm seeing this from the point of view of gods in heaven or in the ethers, and they're like, hey, I have this gift for you, this new cycle. Will you take it? It'll fill your tables. It'll make you abundant. You'll have miracles at every turn. You will be completely, provided for and happy and healthy, and you'll never be alone, etc., etc. All you have to give up is the need to suffer and actually take care of yourself. To allow those miracles to occur in your life so the temple that is your body can be provided for with luxury. And you're all like, but I don't know, is it really me? Should I? Shouldn't I? If I don't suffer, doesn't that mean that I'm not a good person? No, if you don't suffer, it actually means that you're a great person and you love yourself enough to not let yourself suffer. So cleanse and detox from that version of yourself. Look at all those pearls again. What was I just saying earlier about, where is it? You belong to paradise. Become a loving mirror to yourself. Become a loving mirror to yourself. Treat your human body like you would the love of your life. Touch your heart in a way that you remember the things you did for yourself that you would remember if your partner did them for you or your tribe did them for you. Do things for yourself that show you that you are prosperous, abundant, and that the maximum of everything you can achieve, you can achieve. You just have to let it get to your table. From golden spoons and forks and knives to lights illuminating the night skies, you can have it all. But it's being kept away from you by you. The key is within your grasp. Honor your mystical creative force. Again, okay. One more, and then I'm going to close this off and start the processing of, man, it takes forever to upload. The first video has been uploading since I started this video, and it's still not even 25% through. Goddess of Discernment, Freya. I spend my time wisely. I only say yes when it's a holy hell yes. Could you please say a holy hell yes for your abundance? The world needs to see what it's like for a God to walk the earth and allow miracles to occur within their lives as an everyday human being. I mean, how silly of you. How silly of you to be so blessed and to diminish your own blessings because you feel like you need to be less than the glory that is you. It's like Jesus being unworthy of being Jesus because his mind was fractured and the part of him that accepted himself was put away into another body, so that the body you're in now, the temple of you, is fractured in some way where it's missing the wisdom of self-acceptance. Mercy, believe, discern, and abundance. Mother, goddess, goddess, princess. 4 different ethnicities and cultures, 4 different time periods in history. The Divine Mother, Unconditional love exists within me. The presence of love is the absence of judgment. Shekinah, the divine feminine. At the center of everything there is light, and I am that light. My dear, you're going to change the world, but first you must change the way you treat yourself. And look at how she has this apple right here. And in that other card, the fated to suffer, there was an apple being offered by a witch. The apple was being offered to you by the goddess of mercy, but you perceived it as a witch because you were looking at it from the eyes of someone who is blinded to pain and thinking that they're fated to suffer and they're atoning by suffering. Please stop that. Yeah, look. Woe is me, pity party, self-loathing, I hate it. Human bodies are so gross, they're so nasty, they leak, they poop, they pee, they vomit. I don't know how to take care of it, I don't know what to put in it, I don't even know how to deal with it. And you feel alone and sad and gross and unworthy. And it's all absurd. I don't know what's underneath this, but we're going to have a little experiment. What's behind this masquerade of you being unworthy? Oh, wait. The truth of who you are is that you can be so unworthy of who you actually are. That feeling of lowly muck in the gutters type of feeling is still a part of you, a part you've suppressed. But it's the gate you must go through. That version of you needs your mercy. This version is what becomes of this if you don't give it this abundance. The temple of your body becomes the ruins of your soul. Unless you give it the pearl of wisdom, which you already have. The pearl is the sustenance, the nourishment going through your throat to your body that you actually need, instead of all the junk food and all the random things you keep consuming that you don't really want to eat. But what you want to eat, you think is wrong, so you keep splitting between if you should, if you shouldn't, but you really know you wanna. So this could be if you're a vegetarian, you want to eat meat, but you don't want to eat meat because you think it's bad, so you're punishing yourself by avoiding that aspect of life, that abundance to yourself. If you're a meat eater, you could be wanting to, look, more pearls, more spheres. Undressing of the salad. This card usually means that the universe itself is undoing the mess you've made in your mortal world to bring about to you something that you've been wanting. My nose just itched really intensely. So you have a clear comprehension of this now, right? You know what the problem is? You know why your guys aren't here, your tribe. You know why your physical body is in pain. You know why you vomit and you go through those experiences, and why you're so unanchored when you're going through the different dimensions and timelines. You're aware now of the deep-seated core issue of what is actually contributing to all the problems of your life. Not just one, but all the things keeping you from you. You're aware of them now. You are aware of how you've been to yourself, of how you've been with others, and why they haven't been around. And you know the way to move forward within that experience. Sorry, there's a little fruit fly here. The way to move forward to get to your tribe is to free yourself of the need to look for your tribe. It's like a reverse thing Stop looking for it and it comes. But also, while you're not looking for it, emit the light of yourself without imposition upon that light. Let the miracles occur. If there's too many miracles in your life, spread some around. Share them with the world. Buy people things. Get people, like if you're a billionaire, start, buying people houses, or, go into neighborhoods or places where people are living in subsidized housing. Buy those houses and improve them. If you don't have that much financial wealth and you're just working with a potato and you don't know what to do because you're by yourself, at least learn to not cut towards yourself, cut away from yourself. If the best and most important thing you can do at any moment is to be kinder to yourself, then do so. You've suffered enough. Look, right underneath the Ten of Swords, the sun. Oh, thank you. I've been hoping to see another sun card for so long. We dug into some deep corners of your soul and your spirit. I don't think I've ever known anybody as deeply as I know you. Please take care of yourself. Please, 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 please allow the miracles occur in your life. Open the floodgates of the miracles. Open them and let them flood over you and through you and all around you. Let your neighborhoods improve because of the miracles happening in your life. Your pets, your animals, your companions, your family, your lovers, and please go get laid. Or at least, pleasure yourself. Eat things in a more sensual way to where you can feel the edges of your lips, to where you can feel your fingertips, to where your earlobes, you can feel the lines on your ear, the little tiny hairs that are all over your skin or wherever they are on your body. Like, people have little tiny fuzzy hairs everywhere. I think they're called vellus hairs. Vellus, Paris, Venus, Venusian. Like, there's such a oh goodness, that was a big yawn. I just heard a key in the door being unlocked. I hear a car outside beeping. People laughing. Oh. I can't even look at you. Whoever you are, whatever you're doing, and whatever you're destined for, love yourself more than you love the worlds you came from. Love yourself more than the home you want to go to. Love yourself more than the partner you're calling in. Thrive in the astonishing light of you and your connection to Source. Someday you will be your own something. I know how silly that sounds, but the human will eventually become a planet, eventually a star, eventually a galaxy, or, the souls of some people will evolve in that way. Others go to become different beings of higher dimensions, etc., etc. You, for now that you're here, wash the world with the love of you for yourself in a humble, kind way to where you share that love with the world. I really think you would be a great psychiatrist or someone that works with the mind and the heart being disconnected, to where you help people reconnect that within themselves. Queen of Pentacles and the star underneath those, and the devil underneath that. It's almost like your partners, the love of your life maybe, isn't part of your tribe. It's like the light and the dark. Like your mate is the little white dot in the black part of the yin yang, and you're the little black part in the white part of the yin yang, or the other way around. Doesn't really matter. But you've seemed to think previously, because I'm sensing the change in you slowly, that you were broken for being who you are, and you're not. You are who you are. An angel can love a demon can love an angel, a god can love a devil can love a god, or whatever. A butterfly can, love a dragonfly. Doesn't matter where you're from, it matters how you treat yourself. That way, the person you're with will be treated with an even bigger standard, because you're treating yourself with the standard of a god in human form. Okay, these should be up. Well, you're obviously watching them, but I'm going to spend tonight uploading them, so I'm hoping by tomorrow afternoon they should be up and I can send you the links. I don't know what's taking this other one so long, but once it's done, I'll set the other one to upload with this current one, and then yeah. Anyway, I don't know how else to say this. I keep detaching myself from your energy. It's very, very holy, very divine, very high vibration, very, very, very transcendent. And it's not that it's too much to handle or to feel, but it's so familiar that it feels like an overloading of my own energy. Like we're on the same wavelength kind of thing, and the parallel lines are intersecting, and I can feel the friction and the static, and I can see the light emitted on your path, and the path you came from, and the path you're going. All of them, in every direction. And your easiest way to get to where you want to be, where you don't even know where you want to be right now. You know that there is an end to the story, but you don't know where or how it plays out, because everything keeps changing like water and light mixing together. But the way I see it for you, the most smoothest navigation through all of this, along with your pride, your tribe, and your people, is to do it with the thing you're avoiding doing for yourself, which is allowing yourself to have a really great physical life. Really, 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 really allow yourself to have it. And if you don't want it for yourself, if you really, really, really want to be that pious and altruistic and sacrifice the self for the needs of the many, and that program, okay? If you really want to take that road for a while, then my suggestion to you, based on what I've read so far, make other people's lives easier. Don't solve their problems for them, but help them have an improved quality of life. There's so much you can do, from buying someone a cup of coffee, to buying someone a house, to buying someone a city or a school, or seeding a planet. Like, I don't know where you are on the spectrum, because you're so expanded. So the only thing I can tell you, instead of being like, oh, you can create this and that, I'm like, no, the simplest way right now is just take care of your human body. It can't get any simpler than that. You're the channel for divine energy to express itself in human form, and you have not allowed that to occur. Your life won't move forward in a productive way until you allow your life to move forward. And I know you're afraid of what you can become and how you can mess up, but you won't. You absolutely won't. You will succeed. You will triumph. You had the Six of Wands, and it only came out once. It didn't need to be reiterated. You already have victory. Just allow yourself to be prosperous. And if you can't, then help the lives of the people around you prosper. Whenever you feel like you need to run from the human world, go help someone, call someone, post a video, do something, because there are other people feeling that too. And if you keep giving into the energy the same way you have been, then the energetic standard will be set to the global wave that they will handle the issue the same way. But if you change the ripples you're sending in the water, then when they face the same temperature of water, they will know how to handle the ripples and the temperature in a better way. And when they handle it in a better way, you can in turn handle it in a better way than that. Ebb and flow, back and forth. But first, there must be a tide of abundance that crashes upon your shores. It must be allowed to wash over you and to heal what you think is broken. Or should I say, to reveal that which was never broken, but you thought it was. Be at peace, my dear. Be at peace. Wow. I recognize suffering in order to release it. Curiosity breeds compassion. The feminine triangle pointing downwards with her hand mudra of transformation, transforming the way you nourish and take care of yourself to be the mother that you didn't have, or that you did have but it wasn't in a certain way, or the father figure, to be that compassion for yourself. And I swear I just saw this card blink. Recognize the suffering and release it. You don't need to suffer. You don't need to suffer. You don't need to suffer. I love you. I love you. I love you. May this serve you for your highest and greatest good, for your life and your experience as a living conscious being. May you know yourself with compassion and love and truth. I look forward to seeing how the world is going to change because of you. Bye for now.